Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today, shockingly enough, there is a game on BackerKit. And not only is there a game on BackerKit, but it's doing really stinking well. That's the Munchkin Big Box, which has raised $885,000 with 9 days left to go. Now, before we get into this, I do want to set the stage. I have a very interesting relationship with Munchkin. It was one of the first games that I played when I got into the hobby. I was big on Munchkin. I've reviewed more Munchkin than just about most other content creators out there. You know, I used to be on their email list, and I used to get a new Munchkin box pretty much every 4, 5, 6 months. So I was really big into Munchkin, and I still have all my old Munchkin stuff, but I have not played it in years. Hey, see, goody. That being said, I feel like Steve Jackson Games has really not moved along with the times, and their Kickstarter presentations and what they've done on crowdfunding, I feel like, have been just absolutely atrocious. So I am excited to see them trying something different going to BackerKit. That being said, my knee-jerk reaction, and we got to be honest here, is the Munchkin Big Box with less than $1 million on Kickstarter. I just wouldn't see that happening. You know, I just feel like it probably would be doing better on Kickstarter. And I have not seen the project, but that's just my knee-jerk, because Munchkin is a much-beloved gateway game, even though it's really not gateway-esque, but it's been a lot of people's gateway into the hobby, a lot especially role-playing gamers. But that's enough of the wind-up. Let's talk about the Munchkin Big Box, the ultimate Munchkin collection, looking at the main image. I see the Munchkin art. I'd love to see an image of the box. I'd love to know how many cards, if it's some sort of impressive number. You know, there's more information I feel like that could be conveyed here aside from just, hey, it's Munchkin, a big box. You know, tell me a little bit more. Dive into 25 years of chaos and monster slaying in all-in-one gigantic box. The Munchkin Big Box. So we went with the strategy of completely wasting our space here. I guess they did say 25 years, but why didn't you just call this the 25-year anniversary edition or something like that? What I'm saying is player late time count age would be great here, because I believe Munchkin goes up to 6. If you listed how many expansions were in here, just something else aside from just exactly what I would expect to be there is... There's no video. Wait, is it, maybe it's down? Is it down? No, there's no video. Ow. Full point grade bump down. Just all the negative stuff that I've said about Steve Jackson Games just comes flooding back to my mind, and just how it doesn't feel like they've moved with the times when it comes to crowdfunding. You know, aside from Ogre. Ogre was huge. They did great with Ogre on Kickstarter, but since then I just feel like, ugh. So no video here, no reason to get excited, no personal touch, no nothing, but 6,131 backers, that's great. But once again, you would expect that. This is literally a much beloved franchise. Let's just see how many people have rated this on Board Game Geek. 49.4 thousand people have rated it. That is a really large number of people rating it, especially on Board Game Geek, which once again, it's an incredibly niche website. I feel like the bigger name games aren't affected by being on BackerKit much. Matt Coville's MDCM will have over 1 million on BackerKit, and that's a new IP. Yeah, I agree. I think that if you are going to go to BackerKit, you definitely need a tentpole, and it can be a viable thing you do. But just my knee-jerk reaction is this would be doing better on Kickstarter. Just playing the numbers, the millions of people who have played Kickstarter. Excuse me, have played Munchkin that are on Kickstarter. Like, oh yeah, I remember playing that game. Now there's a big box. Sure, I'll check that out. Whereas you're not going to get that nearly as much on BackerKit because you're just not getting the foot traffic. I feel like this is such a tentpole, potentially. Like, name me 5 bigger franchises than Munchkin in board games. You know, in tabletop board games, at least. You know, maybe you go Ticket to Ride. I'll give you that one. King of Tokyo? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Say that one. Carcassonne, for sure. Catan. You know, but we're talking about rarefied air, where this game should be, and the fact that it's, just once again, I don't want to be the guy poking a finger at $885,000, but it's Munchkin. Our video is really relevant and essential. 99% of strike me as a waste of money and time. I think this would be great, because obviously the big question is what's inside. So, yeah. All right, so we got a box. It looks larger. I mean, it doesn't look like a huge box by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks larger. Oh, Munchkin Dungeon. Okay. So now we're talking about some of the expansions. 3 to 6 players, 1 to 2 hours, 10 hours plus. It's the biggest edition ever for the mega hit card game about fantasy adventure with none of that stupid role-playing stuff. Go down in the dungeon, kill it. So we're talking theme. Got it. Now you're telling me how to play Munchkin? I don't feel like this is what we lead with here. Like, I feel like if I'm at the Munchkin Big Box on BackerKit, I feel like I probably got a gist of what should be here. Maybe you should focus on the pledges. Here we go. $125. Wow, just slap me in the face with it. So, I don't feel like I have been sold on this $125 in any way, shape, or form. Like, oh, hey, here's a picture of it set up, which doesn't look... Like, honestly, if you took away this big box, you'd be like, oh, cool, it looks like Munchkin, but with an extra board. Some extra cards, neat. Oof. Biodelic, if you're deeper in the hobby, you're not missing much with Munchkin, I don't think, and especially don't play it at 6 players. So it says to click on here to see the pledge. Okay. Over 600 cards. So we got 319 door cards, 205 treasures, 60 side quests, 40 dungeons, 20... the 5 bookmarks, because that used to be the big thing. There was 45 blank cards. Wow, that's a lot. And that seems like an extra lot, considering I know that you're nowhere near actually having all the Munchkin content in here. So it's like, well, why didn't we just put more Munchkin content in there? Why didn't we put, like, some, like some of those because the thing about Munchkin is they have tons of expansions, and a lot of them are like just decks of cards, like not even a whole full deck. It'll be like one of those ones you rip open, it'll have like 14, 15, 16 cards or whatever. And I wonder if a lot of the reason why they can't do that is because a lot of them are intellectual property. It's a lot less impressive when they break down what expansions you're actually getting. Oh. Well, what did they do that? Where'd they do that? If only all this was easier to, yeah, click here to go back to the pledge level section of the main page. Why didn't you just have this below it? Like everyone else who uses crowdfunding. Maybe it's a BackerKit thing, but I feel like I would have remembered that if that was a BackerKit thing, because that's annoying. Why make me give, like, why not just have all right, so you get half off if you're going for the thing. Okay. Contents. What's in the big box? 1, 2, 3 of the, I wouldn't say big expansions, 3 expansions and 3 small expansions? That's it? And why 2, 3, 6? Is this, because this one gives you the fancy cards and it makes it look more impressive? Yeah, this doesn't feel like the big box at all. This feels like you went half-assed with the big box. Like, that's the most disappointing thing, I think, right now, is as a Munchkin fan, and let me just put something out here on the table right here. I actually have it underneath me because I've been meaning to sell it. This is my Munchkin. All these are full to the brim of cards and expansions, and I know it might not look like much, but that's bigger than your big box. It's got way more, I feel like they did it so weak here. They don't include the mix and match expansion. Yeah, why would you want that one? Like, oh my gosh. I was hoping to eat crow about Steve Jackson Games. That was literally the title of this. I hope I eat crow because Steve Jackson Games have talked a lot of trash about how they're crowdfunding. It just seems like they just don't get it. And this just makes me feel like they just don't get it. These are nice. Those are stuff I want. Stickers, so that's cool, I guess, for helping keep track of things. Or, sorry, not the stickers, but the organizers. Okay, so I also get this. Standees. Like, we couldn't even go minis. You couldn't even go acrylics. Like, come on, Steve Jackson. This is your big box. This is your 25th anniversary edition without you calling it your 25th anniversary edition. And this is what we... Like, go look at Everything Epic. How they did their 10th anniversary of whatever the heck it was. It was stupid. It was over the top. It was massive. It's exactly what Munchkin fans would want. I feel like if this were a $400, massively deluxeified, stupidly, like, carved box, limited edition, blah, blah, blah. If you actually would have went all gung-ho and just we put in every single expansion that we could possibly do legally, because some of them obviously we can't do with IPs, but we left you room in there to fit them in, you know, and here it is. It's huge, it's massive, it's not going to be except for the diehardest of the diehard fans. I feel like they'd be doing better. Like, I feel like this half-assing is just, golly. It's not a big box. It's fine. It's like have you? And once again, this goes back to Kickstarter. This goes back to Steve Jackson Games, not you knowing Kickstarter. This doesn't feel like a big box. Now that one looks a little bit bigger on the side, but man, I just like there's way bigger boxes I can see on my shelf right now. Where I'm like, oh, that's a bigger box. And your box isn't even that big. All right, so what is this? Are these stretch goals? Okay, unlock stretch goals. Cool. Vote for pins. Neat. Whatever. We're on backer kits. Of course we gotta have pins. Promo card reprints. 10 more cards added to the big box. Cool. Neat. Why were these not included in the first place? I thought I was buying the big box. Swag, loaded die. We think it's a real loaded die. If we unlock this goal, every backer will receive 1 loaded die. That's cool. That's really neat. So it's an actual loaded die that always comes up with the 6? Cool. Upgrade bigger die. Fine. That's not what I want. I want more cards. Upgrade wooden meeples. Wow. Glad we... Oh, so this is unlocked. Then put your stretch goals higher. Jesus. This is why I always say this. When you launch a Kickstarter, your goal is to get funded. So, I don't have a problem if your stretch goals are not high. However, once you are funded, what is your goal? Because it changes. It's no longer get funded. That's done. You need a new goal. And your new goals is stretch goals to make this the best, most awesome big box where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it. And the fact is, we've hit Maples. And I didn't even know about it. You didn't even feel the need to inform me up higher when you were trying to get the $250 out of my pocket before we even got to shipping. When it was all about me being disappointed at the lack of content here, despite the fact, you know, it's a lot of content, but it's not a lot of, it's a drop in the well, it feels like, compared to, yeah. And just looking at where we are position-wise on the page, this is how low it is. Like, come on. Because this is it. We've already hit it. Because we're at like 1 million almost, 800,000, yeah. Swag, lanyard. Is this reward is only for Munchkin big box backers, maybe available as a cool. Thanks. Actually, you know what? I take that back. With how big lanyard is, this is actually kind of hot. Because I actually have a pair of Munchkin shoestrings sitting up by my table right now that my son's going to put in as soon as the shoestrings go down. So with Munchkin, I can make a pass on this. I actually would love the lanyard if I was a Munchkin fan. So this is one of the few times where I feel like going with swag is awesome. Now, that being said, pins, not so much. Like usable swag. 4 more bookmarks. Yeah, I don't get it, but it's a Munchkin thing. The big coin, fine. Cool. It's a D2. I get that. Promo card reprints. Awesome. 10 more cards. Blank cards. Replacing the former 25mm dice stretch goal will be 45 blank cards. You know, I just... Cool, I guess. I'd much rather have those be actual not blank cards that you have the ability to easily turn into Munchkin cards. But hey, 45 blank cards, that's cool too. Maybe I'll write down my favorite Munchkin cards that didn't make the cut. Oh. Honestly, you know what I think you could do here? You can be big with people, put sleeves. You just had Munchkin sleeves on there. Hopefully they have those, so that way you could at least add your other stuff in with this. But then again, I don't know if it's all going to fit in the box, because it's not really a big box. Swag, a patch. Cool. You know, patches, a dice tray, neat. Wooden meeples, wow. Goal 100, 500,000. Neat, so this is hit. Neato, that's awesome. Why don't we bunch in that when I was looking at the price earlier? You still more cards or shiny cards? Oh. I hope that sanity prevails here, and obviously more cards is going to crush. Because I am going to lose faith in humanity if foil on cards is more popular than some of our cards. I'm so excited. Oh, dear God, it's got to be cards for everyone. Right? Now! I don't want to log in! Fine, I'll log in. Where's the votes? How do I look at the votes? 50 cards for everyone. What? I just want to look at the... I just want to look. You need to be a backer in order to vote. Can I at least see the vote? I just want to see the vote. They don't let you put out a vote. Oh, my gosh. Can I... All right. Can I look at the results? 51? I just want to know. I was with great trepidation. I'm proud to announce I voted unwisely. Well, I would like some foil versions. Given the choice between foil copies or more cards, this is for everyone. Ease me. You had me at more. I had a set of old fairy cards that are curled into a Pringle while still in pack. I'd rather see 50 more cards for everyone. Since the creator comment suggests that 50 more cards will be sourced from existing Munchkin sources, I would humbly request you try to source them from sets that don't already have fantasy bags. Yeah, so it looks like pretty much nearly everyone is like, duh. Of course we want new cards. Like, what are you thinking, Steve? Like, I get why. Oh, that's fancy, fun stuff. This is the part of backer kit I'm not supposed to see, I don't think. There we go. Yeah, okay. Well, at least they got people engaged, though. So I'll give kudos on that. Getting people engaged with the vote. Even though the vote's like, would you rather get punched in the face? Or would you rather get slapped in the face? Take that slap. Doubles dividers, cool. These are neat. We've seen the request from more dividers to help organize, yeah. Loaded deck. A new small deck specifically made to work with a loaded die stretch goal. Neat. Lock stretch goals. So we'll hit more of them. So Munchkin, what is this? Lock stretch goals. So these are the lock ones. So this is just an art book. All right, this is one of the few times I'll totally give a pass on an art book. With something like this, 100%, I think there will be a lot of people who actually really want that art book. They dig the art style of Munchkin. So core Munchkin expansions. Oh, cool. Thanks. So I can just buy them. Because you didn't want to put them in the box. And this is what I'm talking about. Looking at all this and just saying, oh, these could be those 45 blank cards? Like, I could literally just have the entire Munchkin Dragons, Munchkin Witches, and Munchkin Goats expansion in there instead of 45 blank cards. Kevin's already at the D+. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm going too high for this one. All right, so we got Munchkin with Will Wheaton. I have not seen old Willie Wheaton. So if you are newer to the hobby, it is hard to understand just how popular Will Wheaton was, you know, about 11 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, when a new tabletop dropped, it was the talk of the industry, the talk of the board game industry, and whatever game got featured had a massive spike in sales. Like, it was a big deal. It made companies, which really sucks that they don't do it anymore. So we got the Rodney how to play. Cool. So we got a how to play. We got a gameplay from no bigger people you could possibly get roundabout. Campaign trail. So 4 weeks. We'll fulfill it late 2024. So looking like it's kind of almost like a pre-order almost. A little bit. 7 months. Now they could probably get a quick turnaround for something like this. Because there's whoever's manufacturing this is absolutely chomping at the bits. This is a big print run. Because I imagine they're going to print the living snot out of this, right? Like, what do they got? 6,000 backers, you know. How many copies are you going to make? You're probably going to make a lot. All right, so fulfillment, we got $20 with the colossal dice. Neat. So I'm at $270. Or no, 100 and, what was it? I don't even remember. It was so far away. $145. How much does Munchkin just cost in general? Like I feel like I don't feel like Munchkins, because it's just cards, right? $30. I don't know. I just don't. I'm having a hard time choking down the 145 when I could kind of just. Like, I want the box. That's it. I want the box. I'm buying the box. But I would almost rather just a la carte. Like, oh, I'd rather have this expansion, this expansion, this expansion, this expansion. D-. This was not a fun ride. I hate a lot about this campaign. Yeah. I wanted to love it. I loved Munchkin. You know, it's like one of your ex-girlfriends or boyfriends where you're like, oh, man, how are they doing? I hope they're doing good. And you're like, yeah. So 4,000 backers. Okay. 110 retailers. Add-ons, let's check these out. 722, 664, 644, 600. Wow, look at that. Selling huge numbers in the back end on those. They're making some great money on expansions there. Well, there you go. That's marketing-wise, maybe that's why they did it. This is a new 1,000 print run, easy. New 1,000 print run, new 1,000 print run, new 1,000 print run, 1,000 print run, 1,000 print run. Probably 500s by the end of it. Because you know you're going to eventually sell through all that stuff. Good for them. I will say, I love seeing that. I'm going to go with go with 2/3 of a point grade bump up on that. As much as I hate this campaign, I can't look at those numbers and be like, I like, that's great. That is legitimately spectacular. Like, all these, just, you made this big box, and now you're going to get to do a print run of every single one of these. Like, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Good for them. So let's check out the FAQ, comments, updates, give this one a grade. Another, why don't you put out a vote or something for the 25mm dice? They were definitely in the cards to produce earlier, so the issue is clearly the backlash you got. I think the backlash could have come a lot from it being the second upgrade to the dice, keyword being so people complain about stuff. Hopefully they address it. This is my first big box. I was excited about the idea of having 25mm dice, but unfortunately the stretch goal was replaced by blank cards. Oh, that's the controversy. The stupid blank cards that feel stupid, apparently, were going to replace something that people actually wanted. Honestly, I've never used them before because I don't know how to write on that. Don't know what to write on them to match the game's mood. And there's the other thing. I don't feel like this is a common thing. Like, I have a lot of Munchkin games. I don't ever remember there being a whole bunch of blank cards. Maybe a few, but 45? And here's the worst part. Honestly, that just feels like, I don't know. It feels like they got to a certain number. They went over that. Yeah, I don't even want to go into it. Yeah, it's not. Maybe tomorrow we'll see what the next stretch goal could be. I was wondering, do you guys think it would be smart if they release what next stretch goal could be to increase the chances of getting more pledges and getting closer to these goals? Yes. Yes, that's what most people do. They tease you a little bit. They show you that. If Steve Jackson Games was maybe taking a look around at some of the other, crowdfunding campaigns, maybe they would do that. Last week we explored Steve and John's favorite from the 50 all-new cards found in only the Munchkin Big Box. Cool. Stuff for the diehard fans. Neat. My throat's going out, so we're going to wrap this one up. FAQ, community. Final grade for this one. And we're not going to do the can you do it when I look at the track record, honestly, because, we can. Honestly, though, the last few Kickstarters have been very unexciting pre-orders for the most part. Tabloids. But final grade, do I want it? I do. Or I did. Like, if I'm a Munchkin fan, I was excited. But then you killed a little bit of my excitement. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's weird. There's actually 2 Steve Jackson games on Kickstarter. There's this one, and then there's another Steve Jackson games on Kickstarter. Which, I don't know why they do that. I think I mentioned it in a video once. Let's see, how the heck do I get... Oh, dang it. I don't know. Can you do it? Yes. I'm not worried about you not getting your stuff because they've been doing this for decades. And as you saw in that add-on section in the back end, they got to be really happy with how many add-ons you get. And here's the other thing that I still would say. I still feel like this number would be bigger, and you would also have more people on Kickstarter, right? Like, I think more eyeballs. But that being said, this has got to be a great success for them. So good for them. Can you do it? Yes. Then how much is it? It feels fine. Well, I don't know. I don't feel convinced about the price. It just doesn't, like, Munchkin isn't, it doesn't feel like an expensive game. It doesn't feel like a deluxeified game. And despite the fact you are actually deluxeifying some things, you felt the need to hide that after I've already kind of made my mind about the price. Like, I'm looking up here, I'm like, oh, what's the price sort of thing. And then, yeah, it's just so much weird stuff. No, it's not. One of them's RPG and one of them's the other thing. It's just seemingly random. Munchkin Batman, Nightmare Chess, which, by the way, spectacular. My favorite chess variant of all time. Tabloids. Yeah, because the last one they did was like, it was like a weird party game. I think it was like based off, I don't remember. It had like a guy in a toga, I think, on the front. It was a weird Kickstarter. Final grade is a D. Deluxeify the art, they can't touch the art. That's the one thing. I think they would get burned at the stake if they tried to do anything different with the art. Because the art really sells a lot of the Munchkin. Yeah, D. Just overall, it just wasn't a fun ride. No video, not completely clear. Like, it just didn't feel as clear as you'd like on why I need to get it. Some perplexity, like 45 blank cards, taking away the dice. It just, a lot of little things here. It's just not fun. Nightmare Chess. Oh, you'll love. Yeah, Nightmare Chess is spectacular. I do like the coins. You know, but I did give it a 2/3 of a point grade bump up, so we're gonna go D plus. No, because I don't think I'd give this an F, but I think it'd be like a D minus. So with the 2/3 of a point grade bump up, I think we're at a D plus. But either way, they sold a bunch, and they sold a bunch of add-ons. But at the end of the day, I'm still like, it's Munchkin. Like, I would be like, could you imagine them not if they're doing a Munchkin big box? Because how long have people wanted this? You know, how long has been Munchkin running around? 2001. People have been clamoring this for 23 years. You know, this is what a beloved game. And it's just, yeah. I feel like, I'll put it like this. If a different company was running this campaign, I feel like it would have a lot more money. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. It sucks to say out loud, but it's, I like, I don't, they don't seem to get it. They don't seem to get it. Like, this is a video. This right here, this video is where you kick in the door with excitement and you captivate every single one of those freaking Munchkin fans who has like 4, 5, 6 of your stupid expansion boxes. They've left it all in there. They got all of those little cards. You know, they bring it to every game night despite the fact nobody wants to play it anymore because it stretches out forever. And sometimes you got all the different mixed match rules. But those people you could have kicked in the door with an exciting video, and instead we just got more of the same Steve Jackson games. I'm going with D+. Let me know in the comments below what's your final grade. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.